Right there, folks. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Pleasure to see you, as it always is. Hope we're all enjoying our weekend. And we are into the finals over in France, Argentina, and in the States. Just the three games that we're going to touch on. Should be a quick one. Like the video for me, if you would. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you're not, I'd appreciate it if you did. I'd love to have you. If you want to support the channel, links in the description and the pinned comments. You haven't got to. If you're feeling generous, you know what to do. You can go ahead and do that. But let's talk about this final over in France. Actually, first things first, yesterday's video that you probably already know, like, it was not official from me. I was toying with a couple of ideas while I was in work last night. I just couldn't arrive at anything concrete. I knew Hugo Humbert was going to win. Like, Medvedev had played alright leading up to it, but the more I read into it, the more I talked myself off it. So, like, and I'll be honest, even if I did want to bet on it, I didn't wake up till like halfway through the first set of the Medvedev game. I was fucking knackered, so I'd have missed out on that. I imagine most of you would have had a bet yourself, so do let me know if you got anything today. And I think, with it being the finals, why the fuck not? Why not? I'll have a go on one of these today. I've got my eye on one. But before we talk about them, as I imagine, the same as you, like, someone brought it to me attention in the comments earlier on. One of the lads was like, hey, have you seen the slate for Qatar on Monday? At which at the time I hadn't, but I've checked it since, and oh my god, we have got one hell of a tournament on the card for us next week. I cannot wait for that. It looks so good. It's so stacked as well. I seen the first round and I was like, that looks like there's some games in there, and you're talking like third round of 16 of the Grand Slam. It's that good. It looks really good. We've also got the Rio Open at the same time as well. It's also with 500. It's a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not as excited for Brazil because of how good I feel like we're gonna have it over in Qatar. I could be wrong. You know me. We're still gonna talk about them anyway. But I just wanted to mention that because I didn't realise how good it was. I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be a banger. Let's talk about Hugo Humbert and Hamad Medjedovic. It took us long enough to get to it. Well, no surprise, we've got Hugo Humbert, the defending champion over here in France, putting himself yet again in another position to win another title over on the home soil. Very, very impressive stuff indeed. However, you will probably agree with me when I say I don't think a lot of you would have expected to see Hamad Medjedovic in the final two. Now, this is his second final at tour level, going for his first title on the tour as well. I think this is going to be very, very interesting. The question remains the same: who's going to win? And let's see if we can figure that out. So, well, Hugo Humbert, as we predicted, he just made it look easy again. Routine win against Zizou Berg. I think this is his fifth final on indoors. Well, over in France, this is his fifth indoor hardcore final. Say, look fantastic against Zizou Berg. He's been very dominant throughout the entire week. Serve's been fantastic. Everything about it, he's just been great. One thing I have got written down here, so his last 18 games on the indoor surface over in France, he has won 17 of them. 17 out of 18 over in France. I don't use this word lightly, but Hugo Humbert, when he's playing like this, and I said it in one of the other videos, but he is somewhat unplayable. I don't know what you're going to have to do in order to beat someone like this. When he's playing like this, he's very good. And I've previously mentioned on his day, he's a lot better than most. Certainly better than Medjedovic, although he does look promising. Does look very promising. If anyone watched them today against Daniil Medvedev, I think you would all agree with me when I say I am not surprised that went the way it went. I'm not. I think a lot of people probably slept on Medjedovic because of the Daniel Altmaier results. It was very close and he very well could have just lost that in the last set. he made Daniel Medvedev just look shit. He did. He Medvedev broke him straight away. He gave a serve up instantly, and then Medvedev gave it straight back. And then I imagine you just knew what was going to happen from then on out. As soon as he dropped that first set, you just knew there was no way back. I don't know what's going on with the Russians, because it was just Rublev at first, and I mentioned Kachanov and Medvedev, and now we've actually been able to witness Kachanov and Medvedev firsthand, and it's just, I don't know what's going on. He doesn't even look like he's a top 100 player at the moment. It's so strange to watch. They're not even close. The games aren't close. Medvedev fucking moves around that court like he's 15 years older than what he is. It's so strange. So I can't take anything away from Medvedev. It was undoubtedly the biggest win of his career to date. Fair play, like, well done. He played so good. 6-3, 6-2, like I said, made them look crap. He made them look crap. Medvedev has admitted very recently, Annie, that he sort of said it without saying it, but I just don't think he's got the legs to hang with these younger players anymore. If you're just going to stand there like a claymation figure and just like try and play from the baseline with him, he'll probably beat you, but he can't move. He's looking like Russian Andre Murray. you know what I mean. So, my point being, I don't know how much weight I don't know how much weight that holds, especially coming into this spot against Hugo Humbert. As we know, he's got a fantastic record in finals. A lot more trustworthy in a spot like this. He's a lot more seasoned and experienced. It is in France as well, so it's not only a final, it's a French final indoors. I feel like all the signs are most definitely pointing towards Hugo Humbert. People just struggle with him, like I say. He's probably, say he's the best lefty on the tour. I could be right. I could just be missing someone out there. On the spot, like I say, I've only been awake for a few hours. I am just coming off a night shift, so don't crucify me if I'm wrong. But can you think of anyone that's higher ranked than him that's a left-handed player that's better? I can't. I'm not going to spend too much time on it anyway, in case there's an obvious answer. But it's a recurring theme with the majority of people. They play really good, they run into Hugo Humbert, and then they look fairly bang average. Why wouldn't he do it against Medvedev? I say, apart from, regardless of the results, and I can't deny it, Medvedev has played fantastic. This is probably the best I've ever seen him play. You'd probably agree with that. He's still fairly wet behind the ears, and he's still very, very fresh. Like I say, that game against Daniel Altmaier, he was nearly done. Medvedev's probably just a one-off. Like I say, he's got no form whatsoever, as you can't look at that and go, he's just pummeled the best version of Medvedev, because he hasn't. Medvedev, in the space of a few months, has went from beating like Yannick Sinner and Alcaraz to getting absolutely twatted by people who are barely in the top 100. I always go back to the defeat against Lane Etienne in the Australian Open. This one against Medvedev, this is nothing like the Daniel Medvedev that we know, or the Medvedev of years gone by. Is it a form thing? I don't know. Like I say, it's that I can't help but look at that game and think that this is the reason why a lot of people are going to think Medvedev is going to... I'm not going to say he doesn't stand a chance. He does stand a chance. He's in the final. This pretty much is anyone's on the day. I can't bring myself to go against Hugo Humbert. I just can't. I feel like he, the amount, the people that he's beat so far, even just last year on the hard court, he's probably already played and beaten people just the exact same as Medvedev before, and he deals with the majority of them. So I don't know whether I'm going to fire on it. That spread's 3.5, I think. Sorry, it's 2.5. Quite favoured to Humbert. If that goes to 3.5, I couldn't talk it off taking Medvedev plus the point there. Even the 2.5, it could be close. I wouldn't put it past either of them to keep this one close. ultimately, you've got to go with Hugo Humbert. Like I say, we've seen him do it so many times before. He's in France in the final, indoor hard court. He barely loses a game over here. He doesn't. Something happens to him when he plays at home. And like I said, if he plays anything like what he's played all week, I think Medjedovic will really struggle. He'll really struggle. Hugo Humbert's not just going to be standing there like Daniel Medvedev, like he's made out of putty, you know. Yeah, I'd go with Humbert. I would. I feel like that's tough enough of our time, so we'll move on to the second one. Look, I don't know who's playing in Delray Beach in the final. Kekmanovic did beat Michelsen today. Some of you may be really shocked by it. I thought Michelsen may have just done a set. I was thinking about taking Michelsen for a set as well. I'm fucking glad I didn't. I'm pretty sure Kekmanovic has been to the final here before. Don't quote me on it. But if he has, then he's here again. And he's going to play either Davidovich Fokina or Matteo Arnaldi. Which reminds me, I watched Davidovich Fokina fucking bully Taylor Fritz last night. Madness, that, innit? You'd have never have thought that was going to happen. Great stuff. But the one we have got, before I let you go back to your life, and I think I'm going to have a go on this one. We've got Francisco Cerundolo, Joao Fonseca over in Argentina on the clay. Odds are pretty much split right down the middle here. Right down the middle. Who do you think's going to win this one? Who do you think's going to win this one? Is it? Oh, I don't know. I'm just seeing like it's the Joao Fonseca factor in it. When this kid's playing like this, it's just he's everywhere, and you can't deny. Like I didn't really believe it at first, but he is good, isn't he? He's really good. What was the last tournament we've just seen him playing? He was fantastic. I can't remember, but he's even better on the clay. We knew that already. I don't think he's better than Cerundolo on the clay. I'm just being honest with you. I don't. I've said it pretty much ever since the channel started. I think Cerundolo is one of the most underrated players on the tour. I really do. He's just fucking... He beats Zverev again. And we knew it. We said he'd do it, didn't we? We said he'd cover that 4.5. The fact that was 4.5, he must have felt really disrespected by that. He pasted Zverev last time out on the clay, and he dropped the first set and come back and done him 6-3, 6-2. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He won his first game against Delray, straight sets, just domination. Won against his brother in straight sets, just pure domination. He's just beat Pedro Martinez. Say tonight, last night, you know what I mean. I've just watched him absolutely batter Pedro Martinez 6-2, 6-4. I think what's that? I can't even make out what I've written here. Yeah, breakpoints solid on the breakpoints as well. Faced 7 of them, saved all of them. My point being, he's been extremely dominant all week. He's only dropped the one set, and that was to Zverev, and that means nothing, doesn't it? Everyone thought Zverev was going to wallop him, not us. He will be going for his 4th title on the tour. Did win 2 titles on the clay last year, so wouldn't be surprised to see. I think it's tailor-made to see him win this over here in Argentina. I really do. Touching on Joao Fonseca, did win that challenger title, and then I don't know. He's played a lot of tennis, you know. He's looked really good. I can't take anything away from him. I've been catching these Fonseca games, and especially the results. He has played so much. Like, these games have been so long for him. They have, and he had another one today against Laszlo Djere. He got past Echeverry straight sets, 3 sets with Federico Coria. Had another long one. Had to fight back for a comeback against Navone, and then he dropped the 2nd set to Laszlo Djere today, and then just pasted him in the 3rd. But been playing for hours. As we've just mentioned with Cerundolo, he's only dropped the 1 set and he's beasted everyone. I can't help but feel like it'd be a bit disappointing for Cerundolo. I've got nothing against Fonseca either. It'd be cool to see him win it, but I just think Sarundalo's just going to be a lot fresher on the day. Like I say, we've seen the game against Coria was a long one. It was good, but he got past it. He looked a little bit off. He looked a bit knackered against Navone, but somehow managed to muster the strength to pull that one back. And the exact same happened again against Laszlo Gere today. I don't know whether... I feel the way Sarundalo's playing at the moment, if you're going to take a dip like that, look at Zverev. Zverev just took a little bit of a dip after taking the first set off him, and look what happened. He got punished. I just think, even though Zverev's not exactly a clay court specialist, but we can't say he's shit on the clay court either, because he's not. Is he? He's not really. He's still one of the best about. 23 wins and 6 losses on the clay last season for Zverev, just for reference, so he's not shit. 20 and 7 the year before. I think if you can do that to Zverev, why wouldn't you beat Joao Fonseca? Like I say, Joao Fonseca's good, and there might be some people in the comments going, oh no, it's Fonseca all day, and I wish you the best of luck. Me, personally, at 1.8, it's going to be even closer. I know it is. You'll wake up in the morning and this will be even closer. I think I'm going to go with Cerundolo to beat him, you know. It's the final. One last one before we head off into Qatar and Brazil. Why wouldn't it be this one? Why wouldn't it be this one? We've seen what happened to Fonseca when he played Sonego. You know, he was a little bit tired in that one, when he then played Hugo Humbert right after that in the Davis Cup and got battered. He's looked fairly decent for his transition to the clay, but he hasn't looked as good as Cerundolo. He just hasn't. The bookies are saying this is a 50-50 match. I feel like from what we know and from what we've seen, I think Cerundolo can be trusted to get this done. And if he can't, I'll hold my hands up and say, well, Fonseca continues to amaze me. But I can't see it getting easier for him. I really can't. The games have got longer and longer. I'm not saying he struggled through them, but he has really struggled in parts. And I feel like if you struggle, you give Cerundolo a set here, I don't think you're going to be able to come back from it. I really don't. 1.8, I think Cerundolo should be a little bit of a bigger favourite. I was expecting him to be a bigger favourite, but he's not. And with that being said, that will be me for today. I apologise if I've pissed any Fonseca fans off, I really do, but I just think Cerundolo's better. Fonseca, look, obviously he's a lot younger. We are, we're unaware of the ceiling of Fonseca, really. We don't know how good he's going to be. And then, if the way he plays, the way he's been playing this year is anything to go off, he's going to be a fucking menace in the future, isn't he? But as of right now, I don't think he's as good as Cerundolo on the clay. Nowhere near as experienced, nowhere near as seasoned. It's a weird one with the crowd as well, because even though it's in Argentina, there's no doubt Cerundolo will have the majority of the crowd on his side there, but Fonseca has a big following, don't he? There's loads of Brazilians, loads of South Americans that love him. But I think Cerundolo has dealt with the pressure perfectly all week, and it's tailor-made for him to just go and wrap this up and take it. So I'll be willing to roll a dice and say that he gets this one done. Give me Francisco Cerundolo to get that title. And with that being said, I will say good night to you folks. Always a pleasure talking to you. Like and subscribe. You know what to do. Help me out. We're nearly at 540. Appreciate everyone who has subscribed over the past couple of weeks. I see you. Means a lot to me. Right then. That is it, innit? Nothing else. Sound. Right, I'm going to spend pretty much all of tomorrow just prepping for the next 2 tournaments, folks. So have yourselves a good day, yeah? Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Let's go get that cash. Let me know what you're going for. I'll see you tomorrow, innit? Yeah, sound. See you in a bit.